morning, bags are packed, and we are ready to go. We are on our way to Abu Dhabi. And off we go.
Or so we thought. The following takes place in the next 48 hours. You ready? So we arrived at the border between Abu Dhabi and Dubai at around 9 a.m. Now, if you remember, transit between all other Emirates was free. However, there were some very strict rules that applied for entry into Abu Dhabi. They sent us back to Dubai. It turned out that we could not enter Abu Dhabi without having spent at least 10 days in Dubai. The rules that they posted were not very clear. We were there on the 10th day, but they wanted us to complete the full 10th day. So we went back to the Dubai Mall, waited out until midnight, and then tried to go back to the border again that night. Do you think we were successful the second time? Of course not. It should have been a red flag to us, but we persisted. We tried to cross the border, and they said that we needed to have a COVID test. Now, the rules are not very clear. The rules that were posted said a COVID test or 10 days. At the border, they decided it meant both. So, at midnight, we go and we find a place that can actually give us a COVID test. It's expensive, it's late, the turnaround time kind of sucks. But we eventually get our test, we go to the border, and we find out that now, effective today, and announced yesterday, the proclamation had only come out the day before, we now have to have an app. But finally, in this third attempt, we're finally able to get into Abu Dhabi. This trip has become a bit of an insane headache, and getting across the border was only the beginning of this nightmare. So this is the Al Hosn app. It was used by the UAE to track everybody's COVID status.
The idea itself was great because it had everybody's information.
It had when your last COVID tests were, whether you were negative, positive, and it was used all over the place to determine whether you could go into museums and restaurants, just really anything. You couldn't even go to a grocery store without having the Al Hosn app. However, it proved to have a lot of bugs that could unfortunately not be fixed while we were there, because we were there on day one of the app being official. Because of that, we were basically stranded in our hotel room without being able to go anywhere. As is often the case with major technology releases, there are going to be bugs right after the release, and this was no exception. Our problem was that in order to register, you had to enter your phone number, and then it needed to authenticate your phone number. The problem is that we have foreign phone numbers and don't share the same country code as the UAE, so we're not able to put our country code in there, and so when it's trying to authenticate us, it can't actually reach us. We tried to contact Al Hosn and the government everywhere we possibly could. Nobody was able to help us, unfortunately. It just is what it is, and so we had to work with what we had.
After a long morning of uncertainty, we are finally out of our room. We have our COVID test results with us and our passports, so we see how that goes. We were basically told that we could leave the hotel at our own risk. Hopefully everything goes well and they don't say anything to us at the entrance of Ferrari World. It is also important to note that we are traveling during the pandemic and we understand these are the rules and we have to follow them. It's just that it's a little bit frustrating, but again, we understand 100%.
Yeah, it's frustrating because we have been following the rules that get set forth, and then new rules are presented, like, constantly.
Yeah.
And then there are technological problems, so even though to this point, we followed all the rules that they have given us, there are just technological problems that are preventing us from actually doing anything, and they don't have a workaround for that. And the technological problems are not on our side.
We have found that today has been a day of struggle left and right. So right now we are outside of Ferrari World. Surprise, surprise, they don't let us in, so we'll see what comes next. We are staying at the 14th floor of our hotel, and that building behind me is the Emirates Palace. It looks pretty cool all lit up at night.
The building next to us has an Aston Martin store right by its lobby.
Hey, and those trees look very familiar.
They remind me of the trees in Gardens by the Bay in Singapore. They're a lot smaller though. Let's see what they look like at night.
Okay, so we just ordered some food and we were told it was supposed to get here by 7 o'clock. We are not allowed to go in the restaurants because of that app. I wonder if that guy and that motorcycle is our food.
Thank you.
It's here. Yay!
Excited.
We got some lamb matbous, the both of us. Then that is fita. We have some donuts, which are called canfrosh. And then this is ligmat and some khmir bread. Let's get some breakfast. There is a really nice balcony on the floor below us, but it is closed.
And I'm sure you're wondering, why didn't you just go back to Dubai? Well, we had already spent a lot of money in this hotel and the activities we're doing here.
And then right before you get to the restaurant of the hotel, there is this really, really cool atrium. The hotel has a really nice selection of amenities. For example, we have our own private beach.
We also have an infinity pool.
Alright, and I decided to give you a quick tour of the sights that you can see from our hotel window here in Abu Dhabi. For example, that building in the background is the Fairmont Hotel. It is still being built, but it looks a lot like the Atlantis at the Palm Jumeirah in Dubai. However, this one is way, way taller than that one. Right in front of it, there is a mall. And then if you come this way, this building is the Founders Memorial. And then you can barely see it, but right there is the Corniche Beach. And then this brown building in front of us is one of the entrances to the Emirates Palace. Okay, moving on. This beautiful building in front of us is the Emirates Palace. It started construction in 2001, but it wasn't open until 2004. It was primarily designed to be the host for royalty and presidents from around the world, and that is why on the highest floor there are 6 suites that can accommodate royalty. There is a lot of debate, however, on whether or not this is a 5-star hotel or a 7-star hotel, and that's because of all of its luxury. The most prominent feature that you can see here is the amount of domes. I'll give you a moment to see if you can count them all. Did you figure it out? There are 114 domes, and if you're asking yourself the question, where are they? I am doing the same right now because I can't seem to find them all. However, the most prominent one is the one in the middle. Right there's an atrium, and under, or on the inside of that dome, there is a covering of 22 karat gold leaf. So you can see that this building speaks luxury.
Right now we are looking at the Qasr Al Watan, also known as the Presidential Palace. It was built in 2017 for government use. However, in 2019, the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi opened it up to the public. You do have to book in advance. It costs 60 dirham to visit, 30 for kids. It is made out of limestone and marble. How exciting, it's beautiful. And at night you can see a wonderful light and sound show.
And that concludes our quick tour of the sights that you can see from our window here in Abu Dhabi. What do you think of the weather, Nathan?
It's a lot better than in Dubai right now. I don't know what is attributing to that. If it's like all the greenery, if it's just literally the difference in location, if it's the lakeside effect because we're right on the water right now. No idea what it is. Maybe it's because it's nighttime and we're used to already being dead from walking around the city all day.
Yeah, I agree. It is pretty manageable. In Dubai, I would always be covered in sweat. There's an oil rig right in the middle of the city. This one's about a block away from our hotel. One of the things I really like about this country is that they don't waste any corners nor roundabouts. They will have some sort of decoration and just make them beautiful. For example, this corner right here, you can see this little tower and it looks pretty cool. We stumbled upon this area that's filled with containers, and each container is a different little shop. Right now we are at the Corniche Beach, and the walk along it is pretty nice. What do you think about the skyline here in Abu Dhabi?
It looks like the makeup counter at a department store, like tubes of lipstick.
Here you can see the face of the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan.
You'll see behind me on my left is one of the entrances to the Emirates Palace. Looks pretty glorious.
That was a pretty nice walk. It was really good to finally get out of our routine here in Abu Dhabi. But right now it is time to go to bed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Today is our last day here in Abu Dhabi. Tomorrow we'll be going back to Dubai so we can take our flight back to the United States. Right now we are on our way to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. It looks beautiful. We saw it on the way here, and I am just very excited to see it really close, but that's as close as we're gonna get. We can't go in, unfortunately, so we'll see.
It is the largest mosque in the country, and it happens to be the only mosque in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi that non-Muslims can visit. You can visit by tour. It is free, but unfortunately we cannot get in because our Al Hosn app is not working, which is how we validate that that we don't have COVID.
I just love how green the city looks. They make it look like it's an oasis here in the desert. All right, we made it to Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. What do you think, Nathan?
It's incredible. Holding over 40,000 worshippers, it's the largest in the country. It's named after Sheikh Zayed, who is the former ruler of Abu Dhabi and first ruler of this country, the United Arab Emirates.
It has the world's largest hand-knotted carpet.
And 7 Swarovski chandeliers made with 24 karat gold. It is just decked out.
It started construction in 1996, but it didn't open until 2007. Isn't that insane?
It blows my mind. You'll also see that it's got 4 call towers. The number 4, completely insignificant. We've seen mosques with 1. Most of the ones we see have 2. They're honestly obsolete altogether. You don't have to have any. What they're used for is that you would go to the top of them and literally let the area know when it's time to pray, because Muslims have a very strict timing as to when they pray based off of the position of the sun. However, now they've got technology to let everybody know without using the call towers at all.
Entrance is free, so don't forget to book your tour in advance. Also, dress appropriately.
Women, you need to cover your heads, your hair particularly. Men cannot wear shorts. If you don't have the right clothing, they should be able to provide it for you.
Just walking around the area, getting a few shots. Do you see Nathan? Even the fence around this mosque is beautiful. This is one of the gates to enter the mosque. we ordered some takeout, and I guess this is my new name, Mr. Kafan.
And look at that. This is the first day in our 2 weeks here in the UAE that it is cloudy. Maybe the weather is sad that we're leaving.
Bags have been packed, and we are good to go.
It's a struggle to roll these down on carpet.
Hello again. We came to your favorite place in Dubai, the Dubai Mall. Is that your favorite place, Nathan?
Only because it has AC and movies and popcorn.
Yep. So once again, today we are going to be killing some time because it is 9:50 in the morning and our flight back to the US is at midnight. So we have a long day ahead of us.
And we were supposed to spend the whole day in Abu Dhabi, but obviously there's nothing left for us to do there, so we just decided at least we could do something at the mall.
One last thing, the app was only used in Abu Dhabi, not in Dubai, not even when we came back.
They just love gold here. They have these columns that have those things at the top, and they make them seem like they are covered in gold.
Oh my gosh, I'm out of water.
Alright, it's been fun, it's been relaxing, it's been a good experience, but we are ready to go.
Hey all you wanderers, thanks for listening to our Nightmare in Abu Dhabi. It's one of the perks of traveling during the pandemic. If you liked our video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.